Hey, and welcome back to Witch Alone's podcast. I'm your hostess Danielle, and we'll be continuing the mini-series on diving into basic practice techniques. Today we're going to be discussing how to call in the quarters. So what does that even mean? Calling in the quarters is most commonly referred to as the practice of inviting the elements to join you during a ritual. Not that you couldn't invite them to be present during a spell, but witches are most likely to invite them when it is cause for celebrations, full moon, new moons, or Sabbath celebrations. Inviting the elements to join you is just that, an invitation. You can create dishes or areas on your altar that are just for them, but just because you have a guest room doesn't mean you're going to have guests every weekend. You always keep the guest room tidy, clean, and up to date so that if you have guests, they don't just feel like you blew up an air mattress and lit a scented candle, you know? I don't really need to say it, but you want to show the elements respect. And pretty much every witch or pagan practitioner I personally know does. We try our best to give back to the planet that gives so much to us. So when you're inviting the spirits of the elements to join you and lend power to your ritual or rite, you want to show them the utmost respect. So how do you make sure that you are showing them the proper respect? I believe that the elements are not so much about what you have, but who you are. I believe they can sense someone's sincerity and humility. If all you have is a candle for each element, one that is specific to them, I believe that will be enough, if you have a respectful heart. It could be a simple white candle with their element symbol carved into it to denote it as their own. I have dishes on my altar that I put together to showcase the things I connected with that element. I was inspired by Luna Sunflower on Instagram 2 years ago with her element dishes, and I suggest checking them out. My earth dish is full of soil, earth corresponding crystals like emerald and moss agate, acorns, and fake foliage so that they don't get all brown and crumbly and my cats don't eat them. I have a green flower chime candle holder and a green candle. In my water dish, I glued blue stones to the bottom and then filled in all the cracks with glue and sprinkled blue glitter on top, so that when it dried, it looked like water. Seashells, water corresponding crystals like clear quartz, and a clear chime candle holder with a purple candle lay on top or around the water stones. My air dish has a bunch of torn apart cotton balls glued to the bottom that make it look like a cloud has settled into it. Feathers, air crystals like tiger's eye, a gold candle holder, and a yellow candle sit on top of the cloud, as well as my smoke cleansing, very big eagle feather. And in my fire dish, red sand fills the bottom, a heat holding stone from PEI, fire corresponding materials like amber and lava rock, a red candle holder, and a red candle all sit in the sand. These help me to envision the different elements and personally be able to connect to them much better. I am a very visual person, so this method works best for me. I am also able to meditate on a certain element by using that element's dish. However you choose to set up an area for the elements is entirely up to you, and if you put as much love and energy into it as you can, I believe the elements will be able to sense that. Before you invite the elements to join you, it's important to understand and figure out what characteristics the elements have and which ones are the most pertinent to your celebration or your ritual. Earth is most often known for its grounding and stability offering properties, but it also has the ability to nurture us, to help us grow, to offer patience and practicality. So what attribute or attributes do you need? Air is the element of wisdom and intelligence, but it goes beyond that. It is our drive to learn. It is our curiosity and initiative. It is also known to be the element that most helps us balance. Water is the element most known for its emotional and heart-specific properties, but water is also the divine healer. Water can heal our hearts and our souls. It is a cleanser, helping to wash out what is no longer needed from our lives, from our bodies, from our minds. Fire is most often known as being destructive. Intense change happens through fire, but so does great passion. Fire is also seen as the element of passion, of love, of lust, of drive. Fire is a motivator and will motivate others. So what does each element mean to you? Does it go deeper than what's on the surface, or is the surface what you connect with most at this time? I'm going to share how I call in the quarters to be present with me during a ritual. This is of course a suggestion, and you should feel free to change anything or everything so that it better suits your needs. Stand to the north for earth. If you have a candle for this direction, light it. See in your mind's eye if you associate this element with a creature. I picture someone similar to the Green Man, kind of a gnomey, tree, spirit type of creature. Light your candle, picture your figure if you have one, and start the conversation. I humbly ask the element of earth, grace me with your presence and power. Keep me stable and patient during this ritual. Then stand to the east for air. Repeat the process of lighting your candle and picturing your creature or figure. I humbly ask the element of air, grace me with your presence and power. Add your wisdom and keep me balanced during this ritual. Stand to the south for fire. Light your candle, see your figure. I humbly ask the element of fire, grace me with your presence and power. Fuel my passion and help my intentions of this ritual come to pass. Stand to the west for water. Light your candle and see your figure. I humbly ask the element of water, grace me with your presence and power. Add your ability to change and wash away what could muddle this ritual. Once you feel the presence of the 4 elements, continue with your ritual as you had planned. When you're done, it's time to bid your honored guests well wishes. The best way to do this is by going in the same order you originally called them to you, and to thank them for adding whatever it was you asked them to help you with. Look to the north. Thank you to the element of earth for keeping me grounded and patient during my workings at this time. Thank you for your company. At this time, I usually raise whatever glass of libation I'm using to the element's direction, and then taking a sip as if I was toasting to the element, and then blow out the candle. Move to the east. Thank you to the element of air for keeping me balanced and on track during my workings at this time. Thank you for your company. I raise my glass, take a sip, and blow out the candle. Move to the south. Thank you to the element of fire for fueling my passion and blazing the pathway for my intentions for my workings at this time. Thank you for your company. Take a sip, blow out the candle. Move to the west. Thank you to the element of water for assisting with the change of my manifestations and workings at this time. Thank you for your company. Take a sip and blow out the candle. At this time, I usually sit and meditate on the manifestations or workings I did during the ritual and how the elements had aided in my work. Then release your circle and your energy as previously discussed in past episodes. You don't have to call in the elements at all to help you with your workings. You don't ever have to call them. But it is important to note that before you work with the elements, to have a clear picture in mind of how you want to see them. This is a benefit to you, to more easily feel a connection with the element, therefore helping the element feel more secure and connected to you and your workings. The calling in the quarters procedure is something you can, again, change or pass on to a friend if it doesn't suit with you. Change everything or change nothing. These are all suggestions and information so that you can personalize your own craft and workings. Unfortunately, that is the end of this episode. Make sure to subscribe for new episodes and updates, and leave a review if you can. You can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and newly to YouTube with subtitles for the hearing impaired. If you're on Instagram or Twitter, swing by my pages, under the same handle, A Witch Alone. And if you follow, make sure you say hi. I love meeting new followers. Next time, we will be continuing with the basic practice tips with the episode about spells and spell casting. Until next time, blessings.